Hello, hey guys, what's up? What's up? I think I'm live. I'm a little rusty today, mainly because um, I'm working on super math heavy stuff today, and it's also super hot, so I have a towel just in case if I get super sweaty, and I can't turn on the fan, mainly because it comes with audio issues. And let me look up the chat. Hi Crimzo, yep, and we have a message from Lego Freak. This looks just like the thing I made the other day. Did I inspire you? Not really, but may I know what you have made because I haven't seen it. I have made the same sort of setup using shader nodes a couple of times. I'll try to pull it up in a second, but yeah, I did it in using shaders. But now that we have geometry nodes, I was thinking I'll be teaching more of it, so I'd really need a vector visualization myself. But yeah, if you could paste a link of the stuff that you have done, I'd be happy to take a look at it on the stream as well. And I'm actually using, what to call it? Yeah, I'm using Grease Pencil to do this stuff. So you might probably have used, uh, yeah, I'm basically admin of Arendelle server, but I don't really, be there much. Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, I haven't seen your stuff. So can you please drop a link if that's okay? But yeah, like let me try to pull up my shader stuff that I've done a while ago. So I'm not sure if it's still available. It's called Access. It should be there somewhere. That's an access grid. That's not what I was looking for. But yeah, I'll be streaming regularly mostly. But yeah, let me show you what I've come up with so far. Um, so we have this, which basically determines the length of x-axis and y-axis, and we have done some yep, sorry, I'm just looking at the chat. Hi Lucas, might be Lucas Dunn. Not really sure what that means. Did you see the debugging technique with a hair sim node demo? It looks really close, and I think clarity is so important. Oh, I should probably be more active on Erin server because it's basically for geometry nodes. But I get really what to call it. I recently started learning geometry nodes myself. I've done a couple of projects, definitely, but mostly for work. So yeah, I really want to learn more of it as well. Let me also look up what Lego Frick has done because I'm quite curious. Because the stuff I've done is mostly back in the days when, oh yeah, I think there you go. I found my old version, so let me just open it. Don't save. Okay, this is probably it. I'm not sure if it's still there. This was back in Blender some version, so not really sure if it still works. Oh my god, yeah. Can you see that? Oh my god, yeah. Wow. Yeah, it still works. But this was a long time ago. You go to the, I think there you go, this sort of animations. I did this for one of my, let me also bring up, if I have this file, I should also have more files in this. So blend files, access animation. But yeah, apparently this is all I could find up at. So this was like a long time ago, made only using shaders. But yeah, I'm trying to translate it. into geometry nodes. It's so simple in shaders because I am a shader artist. So technically creating vector line segments and all this stuff is more simpler for me rather than doing it via geometry nodes. But you know what? Geometry nodes is the future. So I'm pretty sure like everyone will be using geometry nodes for any visualization stuff, and I want to be part of it. And Lego Freak, if you're still here, it would be really awesome if you can share your stuff. I don't know where you're posted. I'm actually looking in the Erin server for that. Let me look in Showcase maybe. And Lego. EV1. Okay, anyway, let's continue with this. It seems like I can start working on the other stuff. So yeah, Lucas, I'm not really sure what you're talking about, so sorry if I'm not able to understand it, but you said thanks for doing the video. But yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, if any of my videos help you, I'm really happy about that. So I was mostly thinking to do vector add and add stuff, and maybe vector subtract. So I was looking at how I can do that, but also control all the colors within the geometry nodes and not going to the shader nodes. So hopefully that works. And the way I am doing this is actually using an empty. So if you see this empty controls the vector position, and it does this. We can also give another empty here to control the second vector, and third one will basically be the pointing direction, but for now I think they should work. And everything here is a grease pencil object as well, so that is another cool thing, because I really like to think, let me see, where have I done that? So yeah, this is a grease pencil object. I'm basically using that as a placeholder at the moment. I was mostly thinking, in case if I have to hand draw stuff on top of this, it'll be easier to use grease pencil rather than using, you know, any sort of animated visuals. So I was thinking this is the best thing I could do right now. So also I'm interested in grease pencil because I'm recently getting into 2D art as well. So I wish I could try more of it. Anyway, let's continue. Let me also send some quick messages to a friend, inviting them to the stream. And I think I'll go into the camera view and I'm going to turn on the pass-per out. I think it should be in the viewport display. There you go. Just because I want it to be more cleaner. Yeah, I think I'm going to give another empty. So I'm just going to duplicate this empty and place it right there. And let this be arrow 2. Actually, let's do vector 2. Let's call the first one vector 1. Yep. And for vector 2, this is vector number 1 and this is vector number 2. So let's choose vector 2 and use that location as an input. So technically the vector is too big, of course. How can I move this position there but also keep it? I didn't expect that to happen. Yeah, I suppose that's right. I can't really give alpha there. So this is mostly of me trying to create a tool rather than anything. So there'll be a lot of testing different things. So this won't be more of a yeah. This won't be more of a teaching experience for me, I suppose. But I really do wish that's possible. We have this, and then we have this. Perfect. It does work, so I'm gonna give the arrows a little bit more time for visualization. So we have this, and then we have this. Okay. So where is it? We have arrow, and then we have this. So let's bring the arrow after this. Just connect it right there. Perfect. Layers confuse me, so I'm just checking why that is happening. Because depth matters. I think there's a new node in 4.5 called set depth, grease pencil depth. Yep. Okay. That doesn't really work for some reason. Oh yeah, I also realized I don't really need to do this anymore. I can simply use location A as start location. Oh yeah, we technically don't need that. That's so cool. The start location will be the first one. So the second location. Oh yeah. Oh wow, that's actually so useful. This is more for animating. So what this does is, let me show you. This animation kind of brings it to the original location. So now we have this control. God, I know this is really. So we have this control, vector 1, vector 2, and we have that. So technically this is correct. When you add these two vectors, vector A and vector B, we'll get vector C. So I'm also trying to align these values here. So thank you for doing the video link. Okay, let me check if you haven't seen any links. Timestamps. Just 1 second. Lego Freak, if that's okay, I think your name is Evie, if I'm not wrong. So Evie, is it okay if you can paste the link again in Arundel's server or even my server? You can just join the link. It's in the description, and you can just post it in any place in my server. I'll take a look at it pretty quickly. Yeah, sorry about that, because I'm really curious to know what you have done. I might actually take some inspiration from it and, you know, make my thing better, definitely. This is more for video explanations of how I can use vectors to demonstrate things. So this technically needs start and end location. So This is the curve line. The start location is this. And end location is that. So if I just make this that. Awesome. Okay, this actually works. Okay. Now we have two vectors. That's amazing. I'm so glad this actually works. Okay, we have two different empties, and now I want the first vector to come from this location, so that's even simpler now. All I have to do is the start location to be 0, 0, the end location to be this. Perfect. If I'm all right, perfect. Now we have a triangle using line segments. I know this is pretty basic, but this is all we need to start with, I suppose. This is going to be super helpful in the long term. Yeah, so that's good. And let's continue working on this. I'm also keeping an eye out for any links sent my way. So for some reason the chat is not showing any video links, so sorry about that. Okay, today I kind of worked on the number line. It was such a pain, to be honest. I was not expecting that to be as hard as I thought. So the next step, I want to do it along the z-axis as well. And of course, I'm going to change the music. This is too weird. Let's go low key. There we go. And yeah, it still have that issue with layering. So I'm going to dismantle everything, of course, slowly. And find a better idea for that. Vector 1, arrowhead, that makes sense. This is for vector 1, and this is arrow 1. So these two has to go hand in hand. And I don't want so many noodles to be tampered with, so let's bring vector 1 here as well. Alt P, this one to Alt P. We just connect location there. We are technically good. And we're also using this value for some reason. Let's see if, yep, nothing is actually happening here. So I'm going to remove these two things and see if everything still works. Yep, it does, so we don't need that. And this is technically location 2. And this should also be location 2. So select. You don't need that. Cool. So this is arrow 1 and this is arrow 2, 1, 3. That's good to know. So I'm thinking if we just scale this to 0, of course we're going to get that. We need this to come to 0 as well, so I think we subtract this location. Nope. Vectors. I'm looking for animation controls, but for now this is also good, so we don't have to worry too much about that. So, and let's change some colors. This color is good for vector 1. Let's go yellow for the other one and red for the main one, which will possibly be a different. Yeah, colors are really funky. You have red, yellow, and the other one has to be somewhere in cyan. Amazing. Let's take a look at this. General chat. Oh, cool. Oh, Evie, I just saw what you've done. How did you do that? Is it all geometry nodes? Oh, so cool. If it's geometry nodes, I'm like super curious to know like your method of doing this. Wow. If you have done any other software stuff, that's so cool. I'm gonna just like these messages as well. So cool. Definitely make videos on it. Do not. More content of geometry nodes and vector math streaming is amazing. Wow. I myself taught like vector math on the channel. If you take a look at it, you can find some of my visualizations that I've done in those videos. I use shaders, of course, but this will probably be better for the future of the channel, where I think is going to head, if that makes sense. Also, let's have a drink. I really enjoyed it. I hope you're still here, you know. I'm going to just message as well, just in case if you haven't heard me. Cool. Amazing. Wow. I always enjoy when people have similar interests as me, you know, in general. So that's awesome. So now we have 1, 2, 3. The next step, I want to make sure like these things are layered later on. So I'll probably do that towards the end, I suppose. So technically, I need to organize this better. So this is where I was doing the number system. So let's just plug this all right here and bring this all here. More space, of course. So the number system is only on the one axis right now. I need to change it to the other axis, but somehow keep the same distances and everything. Later on, I am going to group everything into smaller links, so it's more easier to understand. So yeah, right now I'm just testing different things. We have arrow 1, arrow 2, like you're seeing here. This I'm still working on, like how to align this properly. Let me just frame this and call this aligning length along. Yeah, this will be length, right? So let's control F. Aligning length to the vector. And of course we can decrease the decimals here. Super happy with this one. Also, Evie, if you're still here, definitely stream more of your work, because yeah, we would like to learn from you. Let's organize it. You can see how horrible this looks, right? Like, and also I don't want to do this separately, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this, oh god, no, Alt P into this, and this is, I'm basically getting the tan inverse of the angle. So yeah, separate vector and y divided by x. So y divided by x, and we have to give the same vector's length, and I'm going to place it somewhere at 30% from here. So now we have an aligning vector. This is arrow 1. So this is vector 1. Aligning vector 1's length. Aligning length to vector 1. If I can group this all into one small thing, I can just give this as an input, and that will be the second, right? So cool. I know I'm probably making a lot of duplicates of where things I can possibly use better things. Also, I'm using, yeah, I think we definitely don't need this. The scale is also not necessary. This is just an arrow. Yeah, this should probably be in one group so that I can just duplicate and connect these things. So let's group this up. Is it correct? Yep. Let's group these four. Control G, arrow, end and start. Of course, start and perfect. Radius can actually be an input, and color. Perfect. Opacity, I'm not sure, but for now I don't think it's necessary. Let's call this arrow gen. And the first one does work. Perfect. And technically, if I just remove this, give the start location as this location, end location as this location, radius as this, and color as this, I can definitely do the second one. And I can delete all these unnecessary things. Just duplicate this again, Control Shift D. And if I just remove the top one, I'm getting the third arrow. Isn't that so cool? So easy. Wow. So yeah, let's just keep all these 3 arrows inside. We'll definitely need, yeah, let's do the start here. So we can delete this node again. Amazing. So we already have arrows. And let's do arrow 1 as number 1, arrow 2 as number 2, and arrow 3 as number 3. And get rid of all the unnecessary stuff. Just this directly. Anytime there is a way you can control node groups, do it. This should technically work nonetheless. But yeah, definitely change the color for the arrow 3. What color were we using? Yellow, wasn't it? Yep. Nice. Now I need to align them as well. So if I can put this all, okay. So if I can control this all into one simple idea. I have one small issue right now to make this into a node group. I'm still working on how to keep, I mean, if you see this, right now, there's a little bit of distance here, right? If I keep changing it, you can see that distance decreases, but I want to make sure like that's not the case, you know? You see that? I want it always at an equidistance from the vector. So I need to figure that out. It's probably a little bit of vector math. So it's like take the vector, move it along its normal. Vector's reflection, how can I? So I have to basically rotate the vector by 90 and use that vector to move the angle, move the vector along as. Oh, actually that's super simple, isn't it? So I'm probably doing it, yeah. So I think I'm using x-axis, but if we use set position instead, position, we can offset it along a vector. And that vector will basically be the main vector, which is this one, and rotate vector, rotate, yep. Let's rotate it by 90 degrees. This is a new vector, and put this in offset, and vector math scale. There you go. And now, doesn't matter at what angle our vector is. Oh no, see? Oh man. It still has the same issue. But we did figure out the okay, what we have done is we have figured out the direction we need to align it. So whatever I've done previously is very similar to what I've done now. So yeah, I was super pumped to kind of come up with this, but I suppose there's a little bit more math to keeping the distance, isn't it? Should we normalize something? Let's normalize. Okay, and what happens if we do that? Okay, sort of keeps us. I mean, it is solved almost there. Some issue, I'm not really sure. At 0. I mean, I can live with this, but I wish I can figure that math out, because that is where all my time goes in general, like getting these little minor adjustments. But I hope you see how I'm coming up with these solutions along vector math. So how I deal with vector math in my head. Okay. Right now, everything seems to have issues with distance. It was not like this. That's because I was using a normal camera. Let's see that. Okay, perspective doesn't matter. So let's go to orthographic again. I'm gonna fix the heights right now, but for now I want to see how to layer these things up properly. Yep, also let me know if you have any questions at any point of time, so I'd be very happy to take a look at that. Again, great job, Evie. That's awesome. I think I'm going to show the vector math just like you did on the side as well. Like I'm going to do x, y, and show the addition. What is the new stuff basically. Not too bad. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make the size of these things a little smaller and give it a little bit more spacing, and let's give it another decimal, of course. And I would also like to keep this at center, so 0.5 should work. So now it's always at the center technically. Okay, see, that's a problem. I don't know why that is happening. Yeah, it is at a respectable distance every time, I suppose. Cool. Now let's fix that arrowhead. I think I should bring the arrowhead into the arrow itself. So that's right here. So it takes 1 point and it takes my first vector. Okay. This is also vector 1, this is also vector 1. So I need to group this as well for this. Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah. This one is actually the position of the vector. So I can also group this into the same thing. I can put this all inside the vector gen and I can give 3 different outputs. I know this says grease pencil. We can say this is a vector geo. And this will be vector position geo. So let's copy this all. Let's go into our vector again. Let's paste this. This will be our vector position. And again, this only takes the location, isn't it? Okay, this only takes the end position. So this only needs the end position, so we don't need that. Again, end position, we don't need that. Technically, I'm not sure. If it doesn't work, we can always have a backup here. So I don't mind testing things out. And let's bring the end here, so I don't have to deal with these noodles going hog wild. Control H and Control H. And let's try to put it right there. So this technically has to be vector position, and the next one is vector itself. So this time, how am I going to do? It is this one again. I'm gonna copy all this, go into the vector origin, and this will be arrowhead. So I have to just join geometry, I suppose, and just take a point. I just need on one point. Yep, point, and the position will be the location, not the location of the object, and this will be the point. Ooh. Does it work at all? It did work. I mean, of course it will, because obviously, you know, I'm more curious, just curious in terms of my act. So the vector arrowhead works, and just now we just need to add this right there. So technically it works here as well, and that doesn't work there for some reason. I know exactly what's happening. I mean, why it is not working. That's because for the set position node right here, we're using vector1. This got to be the location, but it is going to come from the end. We just plug the end right there. Does it work? Yeah, it does. Okay. There's one other thing. There's something else going on. For the second vector, I don't know why that's not working. So let's just take a look at the second vector. See, bug fixes. Oh, that's why. Let's do vector 2 minus vector 1. Yep. It is aligning, but it is at its original location. So I need to translate it to this. How do I do that? Technically, I'm supposed to just add this vector to it. So, and that vector is nope. Why is this so complicated? Oh, never mind. That did work. No problem, I suppose. And why is this going below that? Oh, that's why. So technically, if I just connect the arrowhead, it should be on. Okay, it's not on top. Set grease pencil depth. It is such a. Let's just translate. That doesn't wait, it does work. That's so lame. It's actually lame. I'm saying if I just bring this up, it'll just work. Should I realize this instance? What can I say? It just worked. Realizing worked. So I just need to realize these instances and put this up, and this will be on top, and this gotta be realized as well, because this is also an instance on points node. So technically, if I just join these three things, one after the another, Yep, it did work, like expected. Wow. So the best part is, since these two share the same position, it is the same vector. Wait, is it? This is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 2. Yep. Yep. Kind of happy. I think we can kind of make these three things different. That's by giving the arrowhead a different color as well. So let's just plug the color there. This will be the color of the arrow color. I think color is fine. Head color. Yep, should work fine. Should work fine again. So we have created something really cool. We don't need this. Bye-bye. We technically don't need this because it's all coming down here. And once I figure this out, it'll also be here in the arrow. I think I'm going to give these two as switch conditions, like if you want to show the length or not. So that'll be super useful. And this, yeah, wow. It's actually super simple compared to what I was supposed to do. No? Let's give it a different color. Let's give the same color. Pink, blue, yellow. I mean, works beautifully. I'm so proud. I'm actually super proud of this one. For good reason, of course. This is for adding vectors, right? So that's what I was doing. So we can basically give two vectors, vector A and vector B, and these two, this should give us the add vector, which is this vector. If we add two vectors, what will happen? So technically this whole thing is just for one visualization purpose, which I don't mind because yeah, I can kind of push this things side, and also I want to create a unit circle. So let's see if I can do that based on the radius of the vector. So what I want to do is curve circle. And the same conditions. Set curve radius, convert to grease pencil, set curve, grease pencil. Let's just put it there. Control G, convert. So now I can just put this as unit circle inside. Just right there, Control V. Let's just join that. And this is the radius is going to be length of the vector. And that vector is basically, it's only for the first vector, so you know. Yeah, I think it should work. Yeah, let's check that out. Group input, length, radius, and let's just join this. Something is not working. Curve circle, set curve radius, curve to grease pencil. I think I should just turn this off. Oh wow, look at that. Is it a fill maybe? Yeah, that doesn't work for some reason. So what we could do instead, we can create a material for circles. But that is not what... Yeah, for some reason grease pencil fill doesn't work in geometry nodes. Look at this, stroke works. We can... The stroke works. If you go to fill doesn't work. And it doesn't even keep... Maybe this twice? Nope. See? I think I should report a bug on this one. Not sure how to do that yet, but I think they should do for now. Let's just bring that up. I know it's super huge at the moment, but yeah, shouldn't be a huge problem, I suppose. So technically, all I have to do is bring this one closer. Oh, okay, there's a small issue. Oh, never mind. I see it as a no problem at all. So, okay. It's not too bad. Okay, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I was confused. Maybe I was confused. Yeah. So this one is a different radius, of course, because we have given the stroke, right? So of course. Let's also do vector 2 minus vector 1. And also transform geometry to vector 2. Oh, it is a vector 1. Maybe. Start. Yep. There's more like it. Wow. I'm actually like in awe because I never really did any sort of visualizations like this before. So I'm super like happy at the moment. Look at that. So cool. But I never thought of this. And of course, like I think we can also play with opacity. So let's just decrease opacity. Oh man, that is so cool. What do you guys think? This is so cool. Of course, I'm going to bring these two things closer to each other. And then this together as well. This is going to be so useful to explain in general. So that's what I'm more excited about, if that makes sense. This is vector 1 and this is vector 2. Wow. I hope you're like as excited as me, because this is insane. I mean, seriously. I did not expect to go this far today, but I'm really glad I did. And I think I'm going to give the opacity as a control as well. Let's do 0.2 for now. Let's do a switch condition. Let's do true. And the switch condition will be turn the circle. Vector circle. If you turn on There you go. You get that. Turn on. There you get that. Turn on. You get that. And of course, the opacity. Let's just bring that. Put it right there. Circle opacity. I think if that's the case, we should also give vector opacity. Okay. Let's put it right there. This will be vector opacity. Let's bring this all the way up. Yep, that's good. And this will be a 250 node. Three. Let's just put that. 3. Put that there. Again, 3. Let's put that there. Cool. We can turn on vector visualizations. And I think that's good. I hope you're happy as well. Circle color. Yeah, let's give color as well. Now, I don't. Defaults, I think if you just go with white should do. Let's just decrease saturation. Even that. Can we make this into a dotted line? That's what I'm thinking next. How can we create dotted line? That comes under. Can we do that here? Dots. Okay. So we can do set material. Do black. If we do dots. Yep, we can do dotted lines. So we have to just increase the resolution here. That is cool. We can also give textures, of course. But yeah, like I'm just figuring things out, but I don't think it's necessary. But you know, it's always something which I'm pretty curious about, so just checking. Also, this is the first time I'm properly using grease pencil stuff, and it does look pretty. We can always change materials, we can change textures, we can kind of make this into newspaper, like how Evi made as well, you know. Yeah. I think we are doing a good job today. I'm not really super sure on how I'm going to proceed with this further. I mean, this is all we need technically. I need at least to make any animation using vectors. I would also like to visualize different things like Manim, how Manim does. That always inspires me to do more cool things. So I'm going to post this. Yeah, I just need to figure out why this is kind of getting. See that? And why is that happening? And it's angle dependent. Somehow I feel like that is, yeah, I think I need to figure that out, or else I don't think I can actually sleep. Also the number line, yeah, let's do both of them actually. So here is how I made the number line. I used the dash for negative numbers, these for positive numbers, and yeah, technically I can use the same thing here as well. Don't really need another. This for one axis. What happens if we just duplicate this? because we do need it for another axis. And that axis is along, is it here? Okay, that's a mesh line. Okay. Sorry, I'm just a little rusty right now, so I'm just gonna bring this right there. Let's just take a view at that. This is what we have, a number line. Okay. And what is this? Let's take one at a time. So we have this, of course. I know what I did there. So it technically changed to 0 and this to 1. And the y-axis should be done. Except we need to shift it a tiny bit above. So something like that should do, I suppose. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna do the same thing at -1. So -1. This gotta be +1, right? If that's the case, it should technically... Okay, there you go. I see. That's gotta be negative as well. Nope. Nope. It's gotta be -1. Okay. Okay, I see. Let's do, what was that value? -1,000. That's too much, isn't it? I think that happens, not a problem. It's just one value right there. Let's do -13. Was it? -13, yep, -13. Good to know. And this gotta be -1. -24. I think that's what they have given in the previous version. Okay, no problem. Let's bring that down. Nope. Just checking if everything is working as expected. Yep, we have the numbers. Let's take a look at everything together. So this is the number line. I know this is like really stupid way to do it, but for some reason we can't. I mean, not for some reason, I think I know the reason. It's just, let's just join these two things together and let's plug this right here. Okay, immediately did not work for some reason. It's probably because the material is not set. Yep, of course, have to just do this. Now immediately I can see that the 0 doesn't match. I think I can give this here as well. Did not work. Zero's not here, so it's here. Just plug this, the 0 is gone. The numbers are also gone. So is it this something? 0, 1, is it? I'm basically doing endpoint selection here. The mesh to points doesn't work. I think that's exactly what's happening. Okay, now it should technically work. Yep. I don't need this. I just need the same output here as well. I know we could use one transform, one node, but 3 different transforms and get the same result, but you know, this is good too. Um, it works, it works, it works. And that's all matters right now. Let's give index here as well, instant index. Fill curves. Same fill curve here as well, so you don't need that. I'm just seeing how inefficiently I've done this. People probably will be shouting at me if they see this setup again. But I think it's fine, it's fine. Immediately I can see that I need to fix that issue and this issue. I don't know what's the best way to do that, but I definitely feel no. Something like this is better. Yeah, I definitely think so. Do that same thing right above as well, so let's just bring that up. Just bring this a tiny bit side. And I think this should do, isn't it? I'm just matching the same values here as well, just because I'm a perfectionist. Now it looks beautiful. Let's just render one frame and we can tweak colors later on. Blender crashed. Wow. I should have saved it. Let's see if I've saved anything, any progress. So technically it did. Yep, it did save everything. So that's good to know. Okay, this setup is for the grid, so I'm just gonna call this grid. And this is for the numbers, so I do think I just need to Control G this. And let's call this numbers. Actually, number line, it would be the better option. Let's also copy that. And I was doing the curve circle stuff inside it, so I don't think we need this. Yeah, alignment is something which I want to do inside the, let's call this vector chain. The arrow chain. Generator. Cool, cool, cool. We've already seen this, so we don't need this because it's already inside here. Because it works, I'm not going to touch it. And this stuff is a grid, so yeah, colors are really bad. Let's plug this. Less saturated, more hopefully just value. Wait, did I give blue color? Yeah, cool. The background is probably in the world. Yeah, it is in the world, isn't it? I'm gonna make this less blue, mainly because I like how that looks at the moment. Let's save it, go to the rendered mode, and let's render it again. So immediately I can see some issues. Hello! Hey Jacob, so nice to see you. Thanks for joining. Here are some cute visuals that I'm trying to work on for an upcoming video course. So I just saw your message, sorry about that. So this is how it works. So the control is amazing. I'm actually super surprised like how well this actually works, you know. We can also name these things vector A, vector B as well, and the lengths and their sizes, of course. But yeah, I do think this looks pretty. Let's also bring this up. So let's go to the camera. That actually doesn't work, I think. Yeah, I think I should go to the camera because it's orthographic. I should just increase the size. Yeah, let's go to -7. And immediately you can see that the x-axis and y-axis are not long enough. And that's fine because we can go here and just make this 8 and 8. And now we have a bigger grid. I should do 10, 10 just because why not? So now we can actually play with bigger values. Look at that. Super helpful. The only problem is selecting these two empties. I really need a better way to select them. I know it's like probably the least of the problems at the moment, but yeah. I'm going to turn off vector circle for most of it. I'll only keep it for the final one. So if I do change that, it's good. I think 32 is too small of a resolution, so I'm gonna do 128. It's not a big deal. It's just, I mean, if you take a look at the total number of statistics, it's 160 objects, so it doesn't really matter. And yeah, it gives you the smooth circle as well, so that's good. And it's also super easy to animate as well. Okay, immediately I can see that once these things overlap, it's hard to watch that, so I need to find a better way to do that. Of course, I'm using grease pencil right now. It's because I get these really super nice rounded corners, which I really like. So that's the only reason why I'm using grease pencil. But yeah, you can always change it. I wish I can do this in 3 dimensions, honestly. Like, look at that. It would be so cool, isn't it? Like, in 3 dimensions. But what to do? If I can explain vector math in 2 dimensions, people can extrapolate that knowledge into 3 dimensions. So yeah, that's pretty good, if you ask me. I think that's where I'm going to stop the stream today. It's already 1 o'clock in the night for me. So thanks for joining, everyone. Honestly, I did not expect the stream to go this well. It was really productive. I will also post more of the content later on. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, of course. If you haven't liked it, do the like. And if you want to support the work that I'm doing, you can always go to my Patreon and support me there. And yeah, do check out Tile Factory. I wish I can show more of it. I'll probably work on the next update soon. But yeah, I'll be live streaming regularly, and I don't really want to spam much in Erin server, so do join the server that I linked down below. That'll be mostly for us, and yeah, let's grow this community and see where it'll take me. Thank you everyone for joining. I'm gonna end the stream now. Bye bye.